Join me for open house on your Oklahoma station, Fox 43.
Sunday on KAUT Fox 43.
Get out of the way, Wayne.
When are you gonna learn, Carla? I mean, don't you know lying and cheating won't get you nowhere in this world?
2.5 years in prison and you didn't learn a thing.
Not true. I learned I can't trust my old lady.
We'll see you gentlemen inside.
This is Divorce Court, presided over by Judge William Keene. You may notice that there's extra security in the courtroom today. That's because Wayne Skinner, the defendant in today's divorce trial, is allegedly connected with the notorious Lost Legions motorcycle gang. Carla Skinner, his wife of 4 years, claims that Wayne's biker associations landed him in jail and made their married life hell. Wayne says that Carla took advantage of his absence to look for a new boyfriend.
We got married and opened a motorcycle repair shop. It was something we'd always dreamed about. Then Wayne joined the Lost Legions. I didn't want him to. I knew it wouldn't end good. 2 months later, he was arrested for selling stolen goods and did 2.5 years. I waited for him. I kept hoping he'd learned his lesson.
Who managed the shop while your husband was in jail?
You're looking at her. And I did a damn good job, even if some people won't admit it.
Yeah, she's a real wench with a wrench.
All right. We'll establish some rules at the outset, Mr. Skinner. I'm not going to tolerate this from you or any of your cohorts back there. Next question.
Did you maintain a relationship with the Legions while your husband was in jail?
No. The Legions are a rowdy bunch of outlaws who enjoy scaring my customers. So I asked Buzz Steiger, who's their leader, to take his business elsewhere. He was angry, but they stopped coming around. Then I built the business around the recreational weekend motorcycle rider. And that's how it was until 10 months ago when Wayne got out of prison.
Did things change after that?
Yeah. The day after Wayne returned home, Buzz Steiger showed up asking Wayne to do some work on his bike. Wayne agreed, but told me not to worry, that things wouldn't return to what they were. But the Legion slowly started trickling back in. A month later, when I came back from visiting my mother, 24 of their Harleys were lined up in front of our shop. We were back to where we started.
Did you talk to Wayne about the situation?
Yeah, that Sunday morning, in our trailer, over bacon and eggs. I said I wanted us to sell the business and move to another state where we could start over and raise a family like we'd talked about. Some of the guys in the Legions really frightened me, and I told him so. And I also told him I was worried he would get in trouble again if we didn't just make a clean break.
How did he respond to this?
He said that the Legions were a dangerous bunch. But he argued that they were bringing us so much new business that we couldn't just walk away. He promised, though, that once we'd saved up a down payment for a house, he'd resign from the club and we'd sell the business like I wanted.
Did he keep his promise, Carla?
No. As time went on, Wayne treated me worse and worse. 4 months later, he dragged me to this wet t-shirt contest at a biker bar. And while those women were shaking their booties, Wayne told me he'd saved up $12,000 to buy a new van. And I asked, what about the house? And he slapped me. And then he drenched me with a beer and made me jiggle like those girls in the contest.
Why didn't you leave him then?
I was scared. He said that I was his property, and it would be that way until he sold me off.
Okay, come on out. Be strong now, Carla. We're almost done.
The day after, Wayne saw how upset I was, and he begged me to forgive him. Under it all, I know it sounds stupid, but I still love Wayne. There were times he was sweet to me. I loved riding on the back of his bike, feeling the wind with my arms around him. I still miss it. So I decided to give him one more chance.
When did you realize that the marriage was over?
6 months ago, I was at the shop waiting on some customers when Wayne started screaming that a guy named Bill Bentley was flirting with me. Then without a word of warning, he picked up a chain and hit me in the head. Wayne's buddies attacked Bentley and his friends. The shop was trashed. It took 17 stitches to close up the gash on my head. And I decided in the hospital that I would rather die than spend one more day with Wayne Skinner.
Your Honor, the hospital reports have been entered as plaintiff's one. Thank you, Carla. Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
Mrs. Skinner, isn't it true that while your husband was in prison, you became romantically involved with Bill Bentley?
No! That's a lie spread by the Legions to get back at me for asking them to take their business elsewhere.
Did that fight in the shop actually occur after you told Wayne Skinner that you were leaving him, and then Bentley started pushing him around?
No. Wayne tried to kill me because he said I turned on the gang.
Your Honor, this folder and its contents are the business and bank records of the Skinners' personal and business accounts of the last 4 years. They are marked Defendants A. Now, Carla, isn't it true that your gross receipts grew nearly 300% in the 9 months that your husband resumed managing your business?
There was a lot of extra cash around, no doubt about it.
And isn't this true primarily because of your husband's association with the Legions, which brought in extra business from the Allied motorcycle clubs and their friends?
You could say that.
And didn't your husband give you gifts, including a $3,000 bedroom set and a $5,000 diamond ring?
He gave me those things to buy me off. I didn't want them, and I told him so.
And 1 week prior to the shop incident, didn't he say he wanted to put a down payment on a house at Oak Knolls?
Yeah, but that house wasn't going to be for us. He wanted it for the gang's new clubhouse. And it was bought with tainted money.
Tainted money? Because it came from the Legions?
I've said enough.
Carla, isn't it true that you initiated this divorce? Not because Wayne Skinner mistreated you, but because you wanted to dump him and marry Bill Bentley?
No! Bill Bentley has nothing to do with this. I want out of this marriage because Wayne Skinner is a belligerent biker bum who treated me worse than a dog.
Don't you see? You admitted that Wayne increased business by 300%. That he bought you expensive presents.
Which I didn't want.
He wanted to buy you a house.
It wasn't for me.
But his lawyer is painting a picture of a hard-working husband doing the best he can for his wife.
With dirty money.
What do you mean, dirty money, Carla? In this country, it is not against the law to belong to a motorcycle gang. Look, there's something you're not telling me. If you're afraid, we can get you protection.
I have given you everything I could. If you can't win with what you've got, then maybe I should get another lawyer.
We started using Aquafresh when the boys were little.
I've never had a cavity.
Plaque is a concern for all of us.
I brush with Aquafresh before a date.
Aquafresh works. We all have bright, smiling faces.
Give your family a complete toothpaste. Triple Protection Aquafresh.
And now, a Russian dance in honor of my stroganoff. Hey, whoa!
You'll fall for stroganoff, too. Egg noodles, real sour cream mix, and your hamburger.
Hamburger helper. Stroganoff makes a great meal.
Here's your butter, Henry.
Half the calories of butter or margarine.
Half what, Henry?
My goodness, she's half your age. Put those eyes back on your toast where they belong, Henry.
Next time, butter your bread with Philly instead.
Congratulations, Tri-State, for 20 years of providing America's trucking fleets with the finest, most professional drivers available. 20 years of training students for a job to be proud of, hauling America's goods from coast to coast, and for taking classroom training to students' hometowns. Congratulations for an outstanding graduate placement rate, for hard work, dedication to be the best and succeed. Tri-State, thank you for being a friend. Call Tri-State for new classes now forming, 842-8789. That's 842-8789. Call Tri-State today.
Don't give it away, we will pay. Don't give it away, we will pay.
All those items you would normally give away can now be turned into cash. Cash for clothes, etc. buys men's, women's, and children's clothing, small appliances, toys, sporting goods, hardware, linens, draperies, etc. Clean out the closet. Clean out the attic. Clean out the garage and bring it to Cash for Clothes, etc. and get the cash.
Don't give it away, we will pay. Don't give it away, we will pay.
This is the grand opening of You Can Rent at 808 Southwest 29th, and this is Sean Fraser, Oklahoma City manager, and there's a lot going on, Sean.
John, we really do. We have some great specials right now, just $2.99 for the first week on anything in the store, whether it be a VCR, TV, stereo, appliances, or any of the beautiful furniture to select from. Plus, there's no credit check, no deposit, no long-term obligation, and we have free delivery.
That's You Can Rent at 808 Southwest 29th. Call 634-5573 and you can rent.
Oak Creek Village delivers. For $1.99 per month, you can own your own 2- or 3-bedroom manufactured home loaded, or choose from over 50 homes in stock. Why rent when you can own your own home at Oak Creek Village, 240 in Shields?
We return to divorce court where Bill Bentley is testifying. Bill is not only a data processing technician, but he's also a weekend motorcyclist. And according to Wayne Skinner, that's a combination his wife couldn't refuse.
Did you notice any change at the Skinner motorcycle shop after Wayne returned from prison?
Yes, about a week after Wayne got out, I dropped by to pick up some tires. The shop was empty. I was in the showroom crouched down looking at brands and prices, and Wayne came in from the back with Steiger and a few other guys. He was telling him how in prison he had learned how to rip off automated telling machines. And then he took him back into the office to show him a diagram, and I took off.
Would you describe what happened the second time you visited the shop after Wayne returned home?
Yeah, a buddy of mine and I brought his bike in because it blew a head gasket. And we were in there buying a few things in the shop, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Wayne accuses me of making eyes at his wife. Well, then he hits her, and him and his friends turn on us. Well, we had to defend ourselves. There was nothing else we could do. As it is, my friend ends up with a concussion from getting hit in the head with a jack handle.
Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
You saw quite a lot of Carla Skinner while her husband was in prison, didn't you, Mr. Bentley?
No. I saw her at her shop, and we had lunch once. But all she ever talked about was how much she missed Wayne.
Is that so? Your Honor, this photograph, which I've already shown Ms. Vernon, I'd like to be marked Defendant's B. Most recently came to light. It was given to me by my client while my client was paying his debt to society.
All right, that'll be the order. Let me see the photograph, please.
It clearly shows Mr. Bentley and Ms. Skinner engaging in some rather intimate slow dancing.
Objection. What proof does counsel have that that photo was taken while Mr. Skinner was incarcerated and not after my client filed for divorce?
Mr. Green?
Your Honor, if you turn the photograph over, you'll see the Photolab's automatic machine date on the back. And the date indicates that the photograph was taken, as I said, when Mr. Skinner was in prison.
He's right, Miss Vernon. Objection overruled. Go ahead.
Mr. Bentley, why don't you try telling us the truth now? You and Carla Skinner are lovers, aren't you?
No, we are not. Just because she was in the same bar with me and we happen to be dancing together, that doesn't prove a thing. We're friends, that's it. Haven't you ever danced with a friend?
Sure. What happened between you and your wife the day you left prison?
Carla and I stood in the parking lot for about an hour by my pickup. I told her I'd heard from my buddies that Bentley had practically moved into our trailer with her. She denied it, of course. Tears in her eyes, pleading, telling me it was all a lie. And 2.5 years is a long time in prison. I made the mistake of believing her.
Why didn't you end your relationship with the Lost Legions?
2 reasons. First, I sat down at my desk and checked our books and found out we were 1 step from bankruptcy. I mean, Carla had tripled our debt, and we needed Legion's business. And second, Legion's had nothing to do with my trouble with the law. I mean, they may look gnarly, but they're just a bunch of average Joes who love motorcycles.
Oh, yeah, and they bake cookies every Sunday.
Mrs. Skinner, let's continue.
So you felt pretty good about yourself when you were released from prison?
Yeah, up until the time when I told Carla I was ready to start my family.
Well, how did that change things?
Well, Carla turned cold. I mean, she'd wanted kids before, but all of a sudden she had all these reasons for not making love. She said, I had bad breath and body odor. After that, she was either always too sick or tired or busy. More and more, she started staying out at night by herself, though. So one night I followed her. And guess who was waiting? None other than Billy Bentley.
And what did you do when you saw the two of them together?
I rode my bike around the block and had a long talk with myself. I mean, the old Wayne, he'd have gone in and broke their heads, but I'm living different now. So I rode back to the house and I waited for her. When I told Carla what I'd seen, she swore on the mother's grave that Bentley just happened to be in that ice cream parlor when she stopped in for a cone. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
When were your suspicions about Mr. Bentley and your wife confirmed?
A week later. I'd put together enough money for a down payment. She was supposed to lock up the shop and come meet me at this house I'd found over on Oak Knoll. So I'm there, waiting. She never shows up. And I'm thinking, maybe something happened. So I rode my bike back to the shop. And there's Buzz Steiger and some of my buddies. And they tell me that Bentley and some of the roadsters are inside with Carla.
Well, what happened next?
Well, I found Carla and Bentley in heavy conversation. Yeah, and Carla says to me, I can't live this lie no more. I love Bill, and I'm suing you for divorce. When I asked her why, Bentley and some of his boys jumped me, started punching me around, and before I could stop it, the Legion piled in, and all hell broke loose, and Carla fell down and hit her head. Look, if she wants a divorce, fine. But that slut shouldn't get a cent.
Thank you, Wayne. No further questions.
Cross-examination.
You testify that the Legions are merely good customers, but weren't they regular guests at your home?
Well, some of them are good guys. Why shouldn't they be?
And when one of these good guys fondled your wife right in front of you, you told her to relax and share her booty with your pals, didn't you?
Hell no. Lady, what kind of husband you think I am?
Well, I'd better not answer that. Now, Mr. Skinner, you claim to have increased business by 300% in 9 months. How exactly did you accomplish that?
A lot of engine overhauls, selling spare parts and supplies.
And didn't you do quite a bit of double and triple billing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your Honor, these receipts introduced as plaintiffs too show that in a 1 month period while Mr. Skinner was managing the shop, his friend, Buzz Steiger, was billed for 9 engine overhauls worth over $7,200. Wayne, how many motorcycles does Mr. Steiger have?
Well, I don't know. He collects bikes. I never stopped to count them.
Isn't this kind of billing really a means for you to hide your ongoing criminal activity?
Objection. Assumes facts not in evidence, and she's asking my client to incriminate himself.
That objection sustained.
Didn't you threaten to kill Carla if she mentioned what you were really involved in?
Never. And I ain't involved in nothing, lady, other than free enterprise. And as far as I know, that's still legal in this country.
Haven't you, in fact, fabricated your entire testimony about Bill Bentley in order to divert attention from your brutal treatment of Carla?
I haven't fabricated nothing. She wants her lover boy and she wants our business. But if there's any justice in this world, she ain't gonna get both.
No further questions.
Stuff pure?
Purest. Going riding this weekend?
Nah.
Why not?
I'll be busy working.
You doing what?
Processing your arrest, my man.
You dead meat cop.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. If you do not have one, one will be appointed to you by the...
Just imagine you were a Hollywood dealmaker
and you could line up today's best big-name entertainment.
Get me Dustin.
Definitely.
Arnold.
Okay.
Melanie.
Boy, oh boy. Now you can line up the best with HBO, where you'll see Hollywood's top films, exclusive sports, acclaimed originals. And if you order now, you can take advantage of a very special offer.
I want Tyson, exclusively. And I gotta have Louis. Make sure you give me Cinemax for the most movies on pay TV. And don't forget all the great channels of basic cable. Now let's talk price. I want a great deal.
No problem. Just call 1-800-HBO-5034 to get all the great channels of basic cable, plus HBO and Cinemax installed for just 99 cents. But you've got to act now to save big. Call 1-800-HBO-5034 because this deal won't last.
Get me Glenn. Michelle. Michelle.
Michelle. I remember hearing the crash of the cars and seeing the smoke coming from the engine of my own. At the time of the accident, I was very scared, I was very confused, and I kept asking myself, what do I do now? After the accident, through using Morris & Morris, I never had to worry with the insurance companies calling me at work, nor did they hassle me at home. Morris & Morris settled my case very quickly, and I was extremely happy with the outcome.
Hi, I'm Joe Cooper. I'd like to make a special announcement. If you've been trying to buy a new car or truck but have been frustrated by past credit problems, the Jackie Cooper dealerships have a special solution for you. A lot of people in Oklahoma in the last 10 years have had credit problems, and that's why the Jackie Cooper dealerships have established a special program with the National Finance Source to help you. Please call one of the special numbers listed on your screen. The time to act is now, so call today. Let us rebuild your credit and get you in the new car, truck, or van that you want.
Let Jackie Cooper help you rebuild your credit today.
Don't burn up money on an expensive divorce when it's only $68 at Budget Divorce. Call 672-5000. That's 672-5000.
Saturday.
What do you do for 60 bucks? Anything you want.
When you're a cop, you see a lot.
Turn around. You're arrested for prostitution.
When you're a cop in Los Angeles, you see it all.
I think it's probably a guy, fellas.
Is this a guy? The limo's in place. Guy's walking up to the vehicle now.
Just got out of jail for prostitution. He did 6 months.
Why, if he knew he had AIDS, was he still soliciting?
He doesn't care about anybody, and he hopes everybody gets AIDS.
Saturday at 7 on Fox 43.
Talked your way out of another one, hey, Wayne?
I'm laying my life on the line here, Carla. How about a little compassion?
I'll give you every bit as much as you gave me.
All right, this case of Skinner versus Skinner. Anything further now from either side?
Yes, Your Honor. My client would like to see you and counsel in chambers.
All right, considering the recent developments in this case, I'll agree to that. Everyone come into chambers. Skinner, what is it that you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I knew Wayne was dealing drugs. I knew for a long time, before he went to prison even. But he threatened to kill me if I said anything, so you didn't hear the half of it. How he made me sleep with 2 of the lost legions as an initiation rite. How he used to beat me when I talked back to him.
That's a lot of bull, Carla, and you know it.
All right, Mr. Skinner, your attorney will have a chance to ask your wife some questions when I'm finished. Now, why did you wait until now to come forward with this information?
Because those legions would get me. See, I was afraid to talk at all until Wayne turned against them. But now I can tell you. See, Bill Bentley, he's not my boyfriend. Not even now. He's undercover FBI.
What about that picture of the 2 of you dancing?
Well, they wanted to nail Wayne on drugs the first time around, but they had nothing on him. So Bill Bentley started flirting with me when Wayne was still in prison. Oh, and I flirted right back, I'll tell you. But nothing happened between us. Bill wouldn't let it. He's married, Your Honor, under his real name.
When did you find out his true identity?
Not until after Wayne and I separated. He wanted to tell you everything, Your Honor, here in chambers, but I wouldn't let him. See, I was just too scared.
Foxy Spot's a better way to advertise. Movies,
Edmund Plaza Twin, all shows, all seats, $1.50. Plus the only movie house that offers free child care every Friday and Saturday evenings. You enjoy the movies while Tammy watches the kids, and she's qualified. All shows, all seats, $1.50. Edmund Plaza Twin, 15th and Broadway in Edmond. Instant credit at Dick's TV and Appliances. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, TVs, you name it. If it's appliances, Dick has them and he'll work with you. Credit? No problem at Dick's. All items guaranteed, and at Dick's you have instant credit. Century pickup parts, used parts and accessories for late model Ford and GM pickups. From transmissions to interior trim, every part carries a Century guarantee, 100 days. Unless you're against saving money, you need to shop Century. 2 locations, friendly faces at both. If you're hurting, you have a choice. You may continue or you can ask for help. This doctor, Dr. Predmore, can help, but not unless you ask.
Be sure John follows the prescribed dosage. Mr. Connors was in a car accident, and he's in a lot of pain. Some guy ran a red light, and his insurance company's dragging its feet. He needs a tough lawyer from an experienced law firm.
Don't let the insurance company tell you what your case is worth. You may be entitled to more than just your medical bills and your lost wages.
Pick up the phone. Call Morris & Morris at 843-4LAW. We don't get paid unless you do. We get results.
Congratulations, Tri-State, for 20 years of providing America's trucking fleets with the finest, most professional drivers available. 20 years of training students for a job to be proud of, hauling America's goods from coast to coast, and for taking classroom training to students' hometowns. Congratulations for an outstanding graduate placement rate, for hard work, dedication to be the best and succeed. Tri-State, thank you for being a friend. Call Tri-State for new classes now forming, 842-8789. That's 842-8789. Call Tri-State today.
Are you really a great lover? Take the National Love Test now and find out. Thoughtful or selfish?
Too aggressive?
Too wild?
A love addict?
Take the National Love Test now. Call 1-900-535-LOVE. 95 cents a minute, $1.50 first minute. Call now.
Only the best. 1-900-VIP-DATE. 95 cents a minute, $2 first minute. Call now.
On the next episode of Divorce Court.
But here I am, I'm violating one of the church's basic tenets.
She said it's God's will.
It is wrong to encourage a child to have sex out of wedlock.
Dad caught me necking with my boyfriend.
There's no earthly reason for your God to take my child.
The only sin that Ronnie committed was in getting caught.
Frankly, she's very dull.
He just forced himself on me.
We now return to today's case, already in progress.
The problem of drug abuse has been called our nation's greatest internal challenge since slavery. For like slavery, it threatens to tear this nation apart unless brought under control. It permeates every segment and part of society, just like it permeated the Skinner marriage. My evaluation of the evidence in this case is that Mrs. Skinner has proved her allegations of both mental and physical cruelty, and I order the judgment of divorce in this case for her on her complaint. As to the marital estate, it consists primarily of this motorcycle shop. There will, of course, be deductions taken for the illegal sales of drugs, but I order the balance of the marital estate divided on the basis of 80%, 20% in favor of Mrs. Skinner, which will put her in charge of the motorcycle shop. Mrs. Skinner, you're a very courageous woman, and I admire what you did. And if we're ever going to solve this problem, we need more Americans with the same amount of courage that you have shown during these past several months. So, Mr. Skinner, you see, after all, there is justice in this world. This court stands in recess.
Promotional consideration has been paid for and provided by the following suppliers.
GE Halogen Headlamps, the long-distance headlamps, featured in this Sunday's Super Bowl Savings Spectacular coupon insert. Ortega Mexican products, everything you need to prepare an authentic Mexican meal, featured in this Sunday's Super Bowl Savings Spectacular coupon insert. All-temperature cheer laundry detergent, nobody's better in cold, featured in this Sunday's Super Bowl Savings Spectacular coupon insert. Creamettes, spice up your life. This delicious recipe in current women's magazines. Doesn't your recipe deserve cremette?
Be sure to watch Highway to Heaven, weeknights at 6 on Fox 43.
Tonight on KAUT Fox 43.
Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance meets modern